everybody. Welcome to the SOS Small Business Success Pod. So I know I mainly work in the beauty industry and really strive to focus in on beauty and wellness for the professional beauty industry. However, these tips and techniques that I provide still apply to any small business. So for those of you that are my small businesses outside of beauty, wellness, or health, thanks for listening. We appreciate you listening. And I hope that somebody sharing the podcast makes a difference for your, today and each and every week, we actually talk about one of the 5 anchors that I call them, or some strategies to be able to build your brand so that you can survive and develop you so that you can as entrepreneurs outside where you are of how you manage and business value you particularly could sing those two hand in hand for them where if you control what you have to build for they say with number and so the role of the business of courses open for are constant reveal and or accurate seed so thank you Ben and MAB are to research that we have tech what it is that your business mails we how team that use impact in some our giver sales a certain is it in a particular area okay by who maybe it's not everybody that you need to raise your prices with maybe if you're still an owner that works behind the chair maybe it's time you raised your prices okay or maybe you have some qualified long-term stylists there and you're going to create a price increase for them at this point. Then you're going to think, where do I need to make sure that this message gets out? Where to put it? Is the pricing on our website? Do we have price sheets in the front? Where are all the places that I need to make sure that I'm creating a new list of prices? And where am I going to then inform the clients of this? So am I going to message out? Am I going to email it? Am I going to, and when? What's the date that you're going to do this? Okay, commit to a date and start working backwards from there of everything that you need to get done. And then finally, the answer to how is already answered because you did the why, what, who, where, and when. We'll talk about something here. So remember, how is the strategy that shows up after you've answered all those questions? So think about what is a water, cup of coffee, hamburger meat, toilet paper. Are any of those things the same prices as they were 5 years ago? No. If you have anything on your menu that is the same price as even 2 years ago, then it's time to raise your prices. Okay. So number 2. Run reports. Okay. Now I know most of you have a highly sophisticated, I'm speaking to business owners here. I'm speaking to entrepreneurs. So you got to be able to utilize these software systems to the fullest. You got to max out everything. Now I know we have we're a Mevo 2 salon. So we have, a couple groups on Facebook that we can go in and ask questions, or I'll just poke around in that group to be able to see what questions other people are asking, because maybe I might learn something based on what other people are doing. Now, here's what we know is the numbers don't lie, and you need to see the truth before changing anything up willy-nilly. Okay. So if you're running reports, and I just gave you some examples of some reports that I think are critical for you to be able to look at. And the reports would be total sales, total retail, pre-booking, productivity, upgrades is one. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then of course your P&L, because you want to be able to determine where are you at in your profits and loss? What is your percentage of profit? Okay. Now, most small businesses kind of like, you have to have 10% as a surviving percentage, survive, not be thriving. You're not thriving at 10% profit. Okay. Ultimately, you want to get to 15, 20% or even more within that thing. So you want to be able to look at it. Certainly, if you are under 10%, then it probably is saying that there's something else going on here. And you might need to kind of look at it from a perspective of, did you lose people? Did you staff? Did you lose clients? Have you not raised your prices in a while and all of your cost of goods and everything is going up? Did you maybe give people raises without raising prices? All of these things are going to be factors. Did you, have have to hire more part-time people, or, and they're getting paid an hourly wage, that type of thing. You have to be able to look at this because you want to make sure, but have it set up in our system to where we can see everything that's an upgrade. So we have a basic pricing structure, and the basic pricing structure, is based on what we charge for a haircut, a one process color, a full head of foil highlights, a partial highlights, a style and blow dry. Like everything is very descriptive as to how we mark it all out and everything. But one of the areas that we measure is upgrades. And you know that most of our staff, 10% of their sales is upgrades, 10%. Some people are as high as 20%. Okay. And some of our high level stylists, it might be a smaller percentage, but it's a much bigger number because they charge more for certain services in there. And if you can measure upgrades, then you can promote upgrades, then you can sell more upgrades, then you can offer promotional discounts. And so that this leads us to this curious leader. Maybe I don't have any of my reports set up to be able to see my sales, my retail, my pre-booking, my productivity. Okay. And now I need to get curious. Now I need to be the curious leader. What are you curious about? What needs attention? Where does the problem lie? And maybe in which category? And category I'm referencing, is it a sales problem, operation, mindset, marketing, education problem? Like what area does this problem sit in being a curious leader? And maybe it's more than one area that one problem exists in that you have to kind of like double time on, because if it exists in more than one of those categories, one of those anchors, then it potentially has a big impact. Then you have to say, when are you going to dive in and do the research on this? When are you going to look at how you can, make some steps forward to be able to fix it? Who is it impacting? Okay. If you have something that needs your attention and it's not getting dealt with, how is it impacting your business? Okay. And then how and who is going to fix it at this point? So there's a little philosophy, or I've changed it up a little bit because I'm more into the number 7 than I think it's 6 is the number that's used. But you look at it from this point. The first question you ask is it urgent? Okay. If it's impacting your business negatively and consistently, then yeah, I'd say it's pretty urgent. Or maybe it's just, is it important? And then you have to then ask the question of, will it matter in 7 hours, 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 months, or 7 years? Okay, will it matter? And if you say yes to any one of those, then you need to get curious and figure out how to get to the bottom of what is happening here. And then, of course, here's this one. This one's going to ruffle some feathers. I'm sorry. This one's going to put you guys on guard here. Market your pricing and price to your market. Okay, market your pricing and price to your market. Now, I'm going to call bullshit on everyone that does not have a clear price list available for clients. Clear price list available. Clients, visual. Okay. I'm going to call bullshit on everyone that says it depends on your hair. Bullshit. Okay. And I'm going to call bullshit on anyone that cannot quote a price or range to a client inquiry. Okay. Because when people are inquiring about your services, you should be able to have a solid answer. Now, there's always exceptions to that. There's always asterisks to that. Okay. The little star sign right there, there's always exceptions to that. So you could say, based on what you've shared with me, it would start here, but it could range to this. So now you're giving people a range. All right. I will absolutely provide you a price upon a consultation if you'd like to set that up. So now there's no question. When they come in and they sit in your chair, you're going to be very clear about what this price is going to be based on knowing the work that you have to do in advance. Now, there could be exceptions to that. You could say, assuming that all goes well, or understanding that, everybody's hair is a little differently. Yours might take a little longer or a little less time than maybe someone else based on what I've just provided you. Okay. But we have to stop being willy hens. It starts at a particular price, but we have 7 different levels of pricing in our salon based on the experience and levels of our stylists. Okay. So we can accommodate a lot of different clients because we could be budget friendly or we could be high end. All right. So we have the diversity to be able to do that. But I'm going to call bullshit on people that are not clear on their pricing. And I want you to think of any other business out there that doesn't have clarity in their pricing. Amazon would not be the business that it is today if it didn't have clarity on its pricing. Walmart would not be the business that it is today if it didn't have clarity on its pricing. Can you imagine going into the grocery store and not having any clarity on the pricing of what you're buying for food? It's bullshit. So we can't be the industry that plays into that game either. We've got to get better at this. So when I said the very first thing, we have to collectively raise our prices. Now we need to not only raise our prices, we need to market our prices. So clients don't say, oh, I know somebody that can do it cheaper. Or clients can say, oh, I'm going to call around. Okay. They shouldn't have to be calling around. They should be able to go onto your website, which you should have as a valid, solid business. And they should be, and then they should call on specialty or exceptions to things. Okay. Our services are worthy of being promoted and including the cost. All right. If you can't quote a cost, you will not gain the client's trust. If you cannot formally quote something, you cannot gain the client's trust. Now, if they're not clear on the phone, then all you can do is say, I'm uncomfortable quoting a price to you at this time until I see your hair based on what you've shared with me. You can work your way out of it. You can communicate out of a situation of quoting a price. But if you're clear on what your pricing is and you're clear of a client calling up and asking for certain service items, you should be able to quote that price. And again, I know I'm going to get controversy on that, but we have to get better. The reason why clients are demanding today and the reason why clients are no showing and everything is because they think, oh, well, I found somebody better. I found somebody cheaper. I found somebody that did answer my question. Okay. We've got to raise the bar. We've got to raise the tide of how we're communicating with clients and what clients expect from us because we're a business. Okay, we're an industry that is providing a high demand service right now. And we have very few people available in our industry to kind of expand with at this point. It's going to be weak for probably another couple of years. So we've got to make sure that we have clarity with these clients so that we can either accommodate them or not. Okay, because you don't have to accommodate every client here. All right. And the fifth and final one is you got to get educated, you guys. We got to get educated. So education, because sometimes our business needs us to grow first. Now, the program that I have coming up is Thrive Over Survive. And it is a 12-week program designed to be able to work with you to build your areas, okay? Because I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated. I know you're struggling. I know you're overwhelmed and I know you're overworked. Now, a couple of my accounts, 4 of them, as a matter of fact, have had sales greater than 2019. And I can tell you the reason why is because they've really started diving into the leadership of their business. They start diving into getting systems at play. They started diving into their pricing structure, their compensation structures. 2020 was somewhat of a gift because it gave us a chance to be able to go, whew, okay, maybe I need to kind of look at my business from the inside out and then again from the outside in. Okay. So if you're struggling, overwhelmed, overworked, you have to sign up for this program. I promise you that it's going to help to create the clarity that you need. I'm your resource and your guide to be able to start asking the questions so that you can get the answers. You can ask the questions too, but I promise I'm going to be asking the questions of you because I know you know what to do. We just need a little support, guidance, and confidence to be able to do that. Okay. So Thrive Over Survive, it starts on October 25th. It's live and it's online. It's a small group. Okay. So max 20 in the group. 20 people will be live with me each and every week. And then you'll have 3 one-on-one private sessions. Okay. Well, we convert into, success, do another one for the 90 days or longer. Okay. We're going to focus on the sun. I'm going to share with you the ACT method for campaign marketing. Okay. So for business, whether you're marketing for staff or whether you're marketing for clients or whether you're marketing to existing, always going to base it on the emotional quotient and the social quotient. Okay. But we're not going to make very targeted results in 20 max. And the fee is $3 a month. You're getting 4 live groups for $350. So to be able to help you create, and I know that's not sexy, structure and strategy and planning, find solutions that are going to support you in doing what you need to do to get you SOS Thrive. Up for this. Now, if you pay in full, you're only going to spend $945. The skills, not having sales, not strategy, and then not being able to take you and your team and your business to the next level. So if you're saying no right now, I want you to know what it feels like to say yes. I want you to like, yes, Bonnie, Thrive. And honestly, guys, money back. But you have to show some level of commitment that you are willing to do this, because I promise you there's going to be a much broader light at the end of the tunnel and you're not going to feel like you're sinking anymore. Okay. Now, if you're a little unsure and you're like, Bonnie, I'm in a maybe situation, or even if you're a no, okay, then I want you to go on to this link here, and I want you to take the little survey of areas of opportunity that you might want to work on over this 12-week program, okay? So it's sossalonssurvey.com, sossalonssurvey.com. It's very simple. It's going to take you through a little process of opportunity, and you could set up a free call with me even, and we can talk about what we can do, what one area you want to work on and what we can do right then. It'll give you kind of like a little taste of what the program could be for you, all right? So if you are a maybe or a no, take the survey anyway. Okay. If you're a yes, sign up today. Don't wait. Okay. Because it's only 20 people and I want to be able to make sure that I'm really working with the right 20 people. Right. Because we have to build your brand to survive. And not in 2022. Now, 2021 is not over and we have a huge opportunity and potential to grow your business before this year even ends. Because we don't know what's coming down the pipeline, you guys. I've never been so unsure of what is coming down the pipeline in our future. All right. I do not know what waves are going to be hitting me next. So we got to develop your brand and to survive, and we have to develop you to thrive. So remember, survivethrive.com. Thanks for joining me. All right. Talk to you next week, you guys.